Welcome to our AudBase virtual demo. The purpose of this demo is to show a brief overview of some of the features and the operation of AudBase. AudBase can easily be integrated with your EMR to create an efficient and streamlined workflow. Even if you don't have an EMR, you can still benefit from AudBase with its easy electronic capture of data from audiometric equipment and storage of records to a central server. We begin at the subject list. This is a list of all your patients that have been seen in your deployment of AudBase. From here, you may select any patient and quickly view a list of audiograms, tympanograms, speech data, OAEs, or other records that have been collected for that patient. If you have EMR integration, you'll likely be working with the work list instead. When a patient checks in, your EMR will automatically send data to AudBase and populate this work list. Before you see a patient, just select them off the work list, and all of their demographic data will be automatically imported from your EMR, so you can spend your time testing your patient instead of doing tedious data entry. AudBase allows you to start with any test in any order, and can automatically download or receive data from a wide variety of audiometric devices. We support data transfer from older audiometers, like the GSI 10, 16, or 61, all the way up to the newest GSI AudioStar Pro version 2, as well as most GSI tympanometers, Audiometrics, and interacoustics equipment. So you can use AudBase with the instruments you already have, as well as the ones you hope to upgrade to in the future. The instrument modules, highlighted here, make it easy to connect with your equipment or existing software suite. For example, for the AudioStar Pro, simply select the Download AudioStar button, and you'll see data from the device populate the audiogram. Since AudBase receives the raw data from these connected suites and audiometric devices, you can even make edits or changes in AudBase after you've transferred. For example, we can just select the appropriate symbol from the symbol palette and modify any threshold as needed. You can even manually enter symbols from this palette on a new or existing audiogram. In this case, we will enter some aided thresholds onto the graph where we already downloaded PTA thresholds from our AudioStar Pro. Over on the TIMP tab, transferring from a GSI TIMPstar Pro is just as easy. Select the Download TIMPstar button, and you'll see the curves and data come over from the equipment. If you work primarily with Audiometrics or interacoustics equipment, just select the appropriate instrument module button, and AudBase will launch the accompanying software, AutoSuite, Titan Suite, Diagnostic Suite, or Affinity Suite, where you can collect test data as usual, and it will be shared back to AudBase when you are finished. If you use NOAA in your clinic for hearing aid fitting, you can even send testing data from AudBase and patient demographics sent from your EMR downstream to NOAA with the NOAA instrument module button. AudBase also allows you to display comparison audiograms, so you can compare any historical audiograms for this patient with the current record. This database is just for demonstration, so some of the historical audiograms might look a little funny, but we can view them in a separate window, or if we like, overlay a historical audiogram's thresholds onto the current audiogram for a more direct comparison by clicking and dragging it over. The date of the overlaid audiogram will also be displayed below the graph. AudBase offers flexibility when it comes to how you would like your graph to be displayed, which can be helpful for consultation purposes or if you want to add additional symbols not transferred from your device. For example, for a patient consultation, perhaps you wanted to focus on only the right ear. You could select drawing options from the menu bar and deselect the side you don't wish to display. The data for the right ear is still in the record, it's just temporarily not being displayed. Other common drawing options include displaying the speech banana or a hearing reference line, in this case set to 20 dB. These drawing options could be configured for each patient or set up however you prefer them as a user default preference to be used with every patient you see. To save you time on each audiogram, you can also set other default preferences for examiner, audiometer, transducers, testing method, and more. You can see some of these fields have already been populated by Robert Examples, default preferences. If you do team testing, you can select an additional examiner manually. If you don't set a default option, you can always select the appropriate option from each list. As mentioned before, AudBase allows you to conduct any test in any order. Let's take a quick look at each tab. We are on the Pure Tone Audiometry, or PTA tab, the first tab that opens when you start a new audiogram. The Speech Data tab has our speech data that was transferred from our testing on the AudioStar Pro. The Word Rec tab, also showing data from our AudioStar Pro. In our case, we performed right monaural word rec 50% at 40 dB. The word list used with our AudioStar Pro also transferred automatically. You can also customize the lists available and add the word list your clinic uses most. You can also quickly add any word list used to any trial with a simple drag and drop. Or indicate different word lists used for each trial, just as easily. The Temps tab we saw earlier, which has data automatically transferred from the equipment, as did reflexes on the Reflex tab. For OAEs, we do work with a number of manufacturers to transfer OAEs, or you can manually enter the data yourself, or even simplify and just specify detected, yes, no, could not test, did not test, or not determined. AudBase also includes a Notes tab. Many providers prefer to take detailed SOAP notes in their EMR and just keep things short here, but you can also customize frequently used standard comments and drop them into the Notes section with a single click. If you are collecting any data in your clinic that AudBase hasn't accounted for off the shelf, AudBase can be configured to include more data and custom notes using the Other Information options. Once you're finished with the record, select OK to save it, and select the appropriate examiner name to sign the record and send it off to your EMR. In our case, we were set up for team testing, so either provider could sign the audiogram. If you aren't ready to send the report to your EMR, you can select Save without changes, and the record will be saved but not sent to the EMR. Once you sign the record, it will arrive in your EMR within seconds. If you want an idea of how the report will look, either as a PDF, in your EMR, or printed on a physical printer, you can do a print preview of it at any time. This is one of our more popular standard reports. It has a customizable header that can be configured to suit your clinic. The body of the report is comprehensive and shows your examiner, equipment used, testing method and reliability, as well as sections for temp curves and reflexes, pure tone average, speech data, and word rec. At the bottom of the form is your electronic signature, available as either text or a signature that you provide, and the date. If one of our standard reports doesn't meet your needs, you have an audiogram you've been using for years and are attached to, or you have an idea in mind for your perfect audiogram, we do offer completely customized reports for an additional fee. Thanks for watching. We would love the opportunity to answer any questions you may have. Give us a call at 1-888-959-6790 or check us out on our website at www.audbase.com for more information.